sometimes families are afraid to talk. And we go back to things like the Camp Lejeune water. And then finally, the Camp Lejeune Justice Act comes out several decades later. But for years, people really didn't talk about it, feel comfortable talking about it. And, you go through the documents and it appears that, leadership didn't feel comfortable bringing it up. And I think at some point in our lives, we're all scared to stand up for something because we know there's going to be consequences.
Yes.
And as a journalist, you put your name on something, and it's people are going to come back to you and say, okay, the people who aren't happy may say this isn't true. And the people that are happy sometimes will take it and use it for purposes beyond what you wanted to use it for and take it out of context.
Yeah, I mean, that always is a risk for anything. In the book, I talk about Red Hill, right? That's similar to what you're talking about with the water. And families, in contrast to some of the other experiences, they did come forward and they did talk about things seemingly without fear because they were living and their children were sick and they needed help. So sometimes when you're forced to say things, you put those risks aside because there's a bigger issue at hand. You want safety for your children. In that case, they were on an island in Hawaii where the costs were so high to go to a safe environment where they could drink the water. So absolutely, it is risky to put your name on stuff in this community. But at the same time, so much of that is perception as well. We operate a lot on perception, especially in the military spouse community. Like, if I do this, it's going to reflect badly on my spouse. So I'm going to not do that, whatever that may be. And the reality is that a lot of that is based on more historical traditions that were once true and have disseminated just through the narrative in the public space, but many service members there's no consequence. They used to say the exceptional family member program, that it would derail your entire career. Well, where's the evidence of that? Sometimes we have to kind of combat those myths with truth, and that will give people a more safe environment to share their stories.